Back with another episode of Eat This, Drink That. This is our fourth installment of Tiki Drinks with Steve. We also got Ali and myself, Ryan, for this episode. And so, Steve, let's jump right into your Drink That for this week.
So this nice shirt, by the way, Ali. This is the last episode of Tiki Culture. I thought we would just go straight battering ram and do the zombie at the end. This was actually created by Don the Beachcomber in his restaurant in Los Angeles in the 30s. It is the third oldest of the four cocktails. We had one, Planter's Punch, went back to 1880s, 1890s, 1915 for the Singapore Sling. This is in the 30s. And then, of course, the Mai Tai is somewhere around there, too, because two restaurants were trying to take credit for that. And it's the classic NorCal versus SoCal battle of who's better, because Trader Vic's was in Oakland. Don the Beachcomber's restaurant, I think, was in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard, somewhere around there.
Bev Hills?
Yeah. So anyway, I call it the battering ram because this is all rum. We got Jamaican rum, we got dark rum, or gold rum, actually, 151. And then we're going into a lot of cool ingredients that, if you'll remember, Herb Saint from one of our older cocktail episodes, the Vue Carré. This is just an anise flavored liqueur. So we're layering flavors throughout this cocktail. Rum, Herb Saint, falernum. If you remember, we used a syrup. I think it was in the Mai Tai, only the Mai Tai. That was a almond syrup. This is almond syrup liqueur called falernum. So this is made from a local distillery around here. So it's basically almond syrup that has Caribbean flavors. So ginger, cloves, and maybe that's it. Just ginger and cloves. Could be allspice. There might be some allspice in here too. This also has a little bit of alcohol. It's not almond syrup. This is 20% ABV. So let's do the math. Jamaican rum. Well, white rum, gold rum, 151. Falernum, which is 20%. Herb Saint, which is 20%. This is packing a punch.
Jeez.
Then I made the Don syrup. So Don the Beachcomber had his own recipe for a syrup. All it is cinnamon syrup. So you take cinnamon cloves and infuse your syrup while you're cooking it. I do all my syrups at 1-to-1 ratio, and I use nicer sugar. So it's just whatever that ends up being, 5 ounces, blah, 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 1-to-1. Throw in sticks, and then you flavor it, and you get cinnamon syrup. Then this also has a little bit of grenadine, and you'll remember from the Planter's Punch episode, I don't use grenadine. It's too much sugar. I use just pomegranate. So it's pomegranate juice. You can play around with the flavor. I'm wanting the pomegranate flavor to come through. I don't need more sugar. We got plenty of sugar in this drink. So simple. We're going to do a Collins glass filled with ice, a shaker, because we're going to shake this. So I have my shaker ice, nice little cube. It's not going to break off and over dilute the cocktail. And then all I'm using is nice cubed ice. It's spring water. I didn't use tap water. But we're not, it's not giant cubes. We just want little cubes to go into our Collins glass. And I'm going to fill it. Because we got a lot going on here. So I'm filling this with ice.
Need dilution.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's full.
So much booze.
Yeah. I haven't even told you how much booze. I just told you the number of ingredients. I haven't told you how many ounces. So let's go Jamaican. I'm using a silver. This is Plantation 3 stars. I told you I used dark rums, but I was looking for Plantation's dark rum. And Ryan, if you're online, look up. There is a darker rum that Plantation does. So they do a 3-star, 3 different islands. This is Jamaican, Barbados. Yeah, Barbados and Trinidad. Then there's a 5-star. Probably throw in Guyana, maybe Cuban. Then they do the dark, and then there's something above that, like ultra dark aged or
OFTD.
that's it.
It looks like it's called.
What's the what's it
They have
stand for?
Plantation Dark Rum, and then they have OFTD.
What's that stand for? It's an
Let's see
acronym.
here. Yeah, let me figure it out here. Old fashioned traditional dark.
Okay. Yeah.
Old fashioned.
That stuff is really good, and I never see it. I couldn't even find the dark. So basically, we're layering flavors of rum. So you got a kind of Puerto Rican gold, but I'm using Jamaican because I love Jamaican rums. There's even more flavor in those. So I'm doubling up on Jamaica. This also has the other 2 islands. It's a silver, unaged. I'm going into slightly aged Smith & Cross, and then 151. As this is 151 proof. That's why it's called that. So we're doing 1.5 ounces of the Plantation Silver. A lot of these rums are interchangeable.
Out of hand.
I really want to stress that rum is highly varied. It is not regulated. There is a lot of quality flavor or differences. There's also just flavor differences between all of these islands and styles and how they're made and column or pot still, aging. You can use bourbon barrels. They use cognac barrels. There is so much going on within those islands. Don't attach yourself to, I attach myself to producers. Plantation, Smith & Cross. I like Duncan Taylor's age stuff. But don't attach, if it calls for Jamaican and you want to use the silver, use the silver. Play around with the ratios and the flavors. So 1.5 ounces, Jamaican silver, Plantation 3. Hey, I'm not done. 1.5 ounces, Smith & Cross.
Ooh, God! Here we go. He's technically hit the rum limit. Say the rum limit from the Planters Punch. We're already at Planters.
We're already at Planters. We're at 3 ounces. So we got 3 ounces. Now we need 151. We need 1 ounce. 151.
Okay.
Okay, I thought this was going to be a topper, but this is part of the shake.
Yeah, this isn't a college bar topper where they light it on fire. This is like
triple rum.
Yeah, triple rum. So now let's talk about Herb Saints, the anise flavored liqueur. Technically, this is somewhere around 1/8 of a teaspoon. You can do a couple things here. You can actually pull out 1/8 of a teaspoon and try to even measure that little space by pouring in that.
You're going to spill.
Yeah, you're going to spill. So I'm not even messing with that. I like anise. So I'm going to do a couple things. I got my spritzer. So I'm going to spritz my glass.
Oh.
I'm going to spritz.
I haven't seen that thing. Ah, man, this guy. Wow.
I'm going to spritz the ice, and I'm going to spritz like 4 or 5 times in the glass. I don't know what that comes out to. I just know.
Triple spritz.
Yeah.
You're spritzing the ice with that weird stuff, with that herb. I swear, he buys that herb saint for a spritz. He's probably had it for 40 years.
No, this is a newer bottle. So we got the herb saint.
The other spritzer.
You really have to show me.
Yeah. Now I need 3/4 ounce of lime juice because we are adding a little bit of citric acid, basically. So that's going in. Okay. Now we're at our cinnamon syrup, 1/2 ounce. That's the simple syrup that you made with cinnamon sticks, basically just an infusion. You're getting a little more, you're layering more flavors. Now, here's our phalerum.
Wow.
The falernum is almond liqueur with ginger and cloves and allspice. We're only doing a half an ounce. You can always go a little more if you like that almondy flavor. I am trying this producer. It's a local distillery here in Denver, maybe Colorado Springs, actually. I've never had this. I don't know the sugar level on this, so we're going to play around together and figure it out. Sugar to me is the enemy because we don't want too much sugar.
And that's the Greer. The Greer hates the sugars.
Yeah, we don't want to go overboard on sugar. I don't want to distaste sugar. Angostura, we're back to Trinidad and Tobago bitters. I like to throw in a little more bitters in this drink, maybe 5 to 6.
Okay.
I like all these extra flavors that are happening. We got the anise, we got the bitter flavors, we got a little bit of pomegranate. So we're skipping grenadine because of that extra sugar. I think I've seen recipes for grenadine that's 1 pomegranate to like a double the amount of sugar. It's not shy on sugar. I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to, for a little color, little flavor, a little background, couple squirts. So we got 1.5 ounces silver, 1.5 ounces of gold, 1 ounce, 151, 1/8 of a teaspoon or like 8 spritzes of herb saint anise, 3/4 ounces of lime, 1/2 ounce of the simple syrup, 1/2 ounce of the falernum, the almond liqueur, and then we're going to shake. We also threw in a little bit of pomegranate, a little bit of Angostura. I'm going to shake this a little bit longer while we're on here. I want this. I'm going to enjoy this drink.
That's a one and done. Let's be honest.
So
who's having 2 zombies?
So that's a really great point. How many times have you seen zombies come out in punch bowls? There's no reason for that. No one is going to walk out of the restaurant after a punch bowl of zombie.
Yeah. Wow. Damn, yo. That's lethal. Look at the color in there.
Yeah. So that's the pomegranate. It's the darker rum from the Smith & Cross. And again, we're going to use mint. Mint in these drinks just goes really well together. And that, my friends, is the zombie.
Wow. I saw something interesting. It said that Bacardi 151, which I think a lot of us first heard of 151, has been discontinued.
Really?
It is no longer out there. Yeah, because they're saying probably because of lawsuits from all the people lighting the top of the drinks on fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? I didn't know it was discontinued.
All right, that's fun.
Because when I looked it up, there was about 4 different 151 brands on the market that you can get, and Bacardi was not in the list. So yeah, it's a goner.
I'm pretty
So
sure.
again, and I feel like with this for this whole series, I feel like I've learned that I've not learned a lot about. I just never experienced good rum. What do you taste? I mean, like, this is so powerful. One must think I'm drinking liquid fire.
So
you know what I mean by volume and volume, right?
That's really funny because as I was sipping that, I was thinking I like this ratio of the rums I chose because the rum, obviously, if you're thinking about a 4-ounce cocktail, whatever this is, I think this is 10 ounces with ice. Almost half of that is rum. So you would think, yes, you're going to taste rum first. But what type of rum are you using? Are you using one that tastes more like confectioner sugar? Or are you using one that has more barrel aging and that acetone funk, kind of high tone estery? That tells you what kind of flavor you're going to get from the cocktail. Everything I used is high ester rums. I'm getting those flavors first. They really come through. Confectioner sugar isn't anywhere in this cocktail. That's what you want, or I want to avoid in a rum, is more confectioner sugar, sugary. I don't want that.
Okay. So that ester, that's like you described that before as like banana.
But
Is
it
that
can
correct?
range. It's a wide range. So it's ester, ESTER. It can range from banana all the way to acetone. I just choked on a little bit of fire from that drink.
Oh, he's slurring. I'm honestly, I'm like, hey, I have another question, Steve. Range,
I just got a
nail
little
polish
bunch of rum.
to suntan lotion.
I looked up food pairings for the zombie,
Yeah.
and the only ones that popped up initially was Hawaiian pineapple glazed chicken.
Oh,
They had a sweet, a sweet option to have with this fiery drink. That's what I saw first on the
so
internet.
it's funny how a lot of people
So-
want to pair sweet with sweet. This is, even though it's high test, there's a lot of rum. You're getting some sweetness from the falernum. From
Oh, okay.
what else? Oh, the cinnamon syrup is giving you sweetness. So you're getting
Oh,
sweetness
gotcha.
on the back end, just on the back. I want grease. I want fried foods with this. I want roasted meats, charred meats.
Mhm.
And I keep going back to that idea
Mhm.
Ali had with the planters, the aguachile ceviche. Fiery, lighter fish
Yeah.
and fiery would go really well with this. So the sweetness in
Yeah.
this drink calls for spice, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I picture these things. I mean, both the planners and now the zombie, a lot of alcohol in there.
Yeah.
And I think of like using a lot of alcohol. It's just, this is like, you're just kind of giving it that it's just touching the lip. You're not taking a big gulp of this kind of thing. And I thought about aguachile because it's like, you just can't mow that down. That is not a post-workout meal.
No.
You are literally eating something that is so spicy, you have to take it in small doses, which is what I think of the experience with this drink. I'm gonna hit you with some stuff, and it's because of the elements you had brought up. You said there's cinnamon simple syrup.
Yep.
Check. You also said something had cloves in it. What was that? What
That's
element of the drink had
almond,
cloves in it?
That's the almond liqueur called falernum. So the most
Falernum.
common
Okay.
falernum on the market is velvet falernum, and that just more refers to the texture of the actual liqueur. So falernum, this has ginger, cloves, probably allspice in it,
Mhm.
and almonds.
It's interesting. I think this has made my head. It's like I'm like a Rubik's cube because I don't know what the experience of this drink is like. So I can't really kind of go back and go, "Oh yeah, I've done this before," or "I know what this is like." I'm trying to just solve a puzzle, right, of what I would go in here. I will tell you out the gate what I feel like I'm going to experiment with. And again, I want to make whatever recipe it is something like kind of almost hack-ish, so it's like simple and you can kind of see a clever, cool way of figuring it out. But Jamaican jerk, and when I think about what I'm thinking about, honestly, like a really fatty pork chop, like a rib chop with the fat cap, and all that cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, cumin, just all those spices that essentially become the blackened layer.
Yeah.
That pumpkin pie spice, if you will. Those are the flavors that go into a jerk. That's just going to go layered on that chop. I would cook it on a cast iron where the fat's rendering. There's oil in the pan, and you're just, it's look, the thing is, this is strong. It's a strong drink, and you're going to have this fat Jamaican jerk, pork chop, black beans and rice. You're gonna have something that's like, well, this is an entree to go with this. It's a heavyweight drink. Like having a martini, like having that volume of alcohol, and it's like you're at a steakhouse where you're all gonna have a volume of food to consume, right? So I'm thinking about it's weird, like it's I can't not think about needing a meal, not just the flavor. I mean, part of it's flavor. That's one for sure. I'm also thinking about, and sounds insane because I thought about black beans and rice. It's like you need something to stick the ribs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Right.
think if you could, and I have to say I've only had it just a few times, but some take on a feijoada that maybe that's like that black bean
Yeah.
and rice Brazilian casserole that'll have chicken, ribs, sausage. I mean, it's a real like paella-esque, very, very hearty, rustic peasant food dish
Yep.
with a lot of fat in there. You know, that rice and beans captures all those meats as
That
they
would be
brown in the
really
pot.
perfect.
But to season those meats with all those things that are in the liqueur and in the cinnamon simple syrup.
Yeah.
You know, kind of highlight those flavors. Morcilla sausage, like just you really can't. You know, it's not a salad. It's not a bib
Nope.
salad kind of thing. You know what I mean?
This has got
There is no Cobb salad.
This has got at least 6 ounces of alcohol between spirit and liqueur. You're not eating salad and standing up after the meal and having 2 of these. I love the idea of that black bean casserole, fried plantains with the jerk chicken, mashed sweet potatoes, or a sweet potato casserole with that pork chop.
Yeah.
I want that jerk pork chop. That sounds amazing with this drink.
Yeah. That does strike me. I might even have a device hack for that too. I have some experimenting to do.
Nice.
Excellent stuff. I mean, this could be my favorite series because it feels like I really have never done rum right.
Right.
And clearly you're trying to do something right because there's a crap ton of rum. The last 2 drinks, you'd probably dent a bottle. You would dent a bottle.
Yeah.
If you're making these for like 3 people, 4 people, you'll dent a bottle.
It would be gone. The bottle would be gone.
Bottle Slayer. I love this drink. It's a bottle slayer.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a marketing thing or whatever, but I just think that most of us only know that 1 or 2 brands of rum.
Agreed.
And with almost any other liquor, we know what the crappy ones are, but we know that we always know the nice one. We're always like, oh, whatever, Belvedere, Kettle One, as opposed to Pop-Up. The average person knows the difference, but with rum, I just think everyone knows that one brand basically.
There hasn't been a push for that bespoke. Like there hasn't been a marketing push to be like, oh yeah, that's good rum. I didn't know what any of these labels were.
Yeah.
No clue. Except for the 151. Can you show that again? Because now I think Ryan and I are both thinking of the same.
I'm pretty
label,
sure this is a very low end 151. No one's making a lot of 151.
Oh, really?
This is called Cane Run. Not rum, not Cane Rum. Cane Run. RUN. I'm not even going to look up.
That implies a lot.
Yeah. It's not Cane Run.
Just Run.
It's Cane Run.
Yeah.
Run for the hills.
I'm seeing 3 different brands here that came up, and one of them definitely looks familiar. Lemon Heart.
Oh yeah.
Rum. You would probably recognize the label. It's that and that's the $35 one. So that'd be probably the nicer one to grab at the store.
That's the one I was looking for.
The other ones are $20.
Yeah. That's a really good point you make about rum. The industry, beverage, wine distributors, liquor producers have all been counting and waiting on rum blowing up like bourbon and scotch for 20 years. It never has. And I think that's mainly to do with tangible knowledge by the consumer. It's easy for the consumer to know, bourbon, it's corn from Kentucky. I know Maker's Mark, Four Roses, Evan or Old Forester. And with Scotch, you can, or at least whiskey from the UK. Oh, I know Dewar's. I know Jameson. I know Glenmorangie. you can name average consumer could name a lot of those. Every consumer will know one brand of rum, Bacardi. That's it.
That's it.
I mean, they might know Appleton.
Not to mention, I mean, that campaign that they had with the hip hop guys 20 years ago. Not to mention, it rhymes with party.
Oh,
but like, you know, so it's in every song. This one brand, you know.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then, so it's just, it was in pop culture so much that it just, that one brand dominated the conversation.
And really, most people drink rum in college, and they order a rum and coke or a Cube Libre if they learn the name, and that is it. And they drink too much of it, and they never drink rum again.
Yeah.
Is that what's in a mojito? Is a mojito rum?
Yep. And then we're going to be doing a whole tropical series coming up, which also focuses on rum. But we'll have the Caipirinha, which uses rum from Brazil called cachaça. We'll have the daiquiri. We'll have, I can't remember the other ones I chose. I've forgotten. But we're going to focus on rum some more.
But like, even for example, even just bringing up the mojito, like I've never had a waiter say like, hey, I'll take a mojito. They're like, what rum do you want with your mojito? Because they do that with vodka drinks. They do that with whiskey drinks. There's a brand tequila, whatever, you know, I want a tequila on the rocks. What kind of tequila do you want? Like there's always, but a rum, they never really ask the question. That's why I even had to say, oh, isn't a mojito rum? Because they don't say, what rum do you want with that?
Yeah.
I'll add mojito to that trio of tropical drinks. We'll do that too.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. Who doesn't love muddled
talk about the drink that's a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to make one? Dude, it's so much work. It's like, you know, it's funny. It's like, I'm making mojitos and it's like this. Cool. I want another. And you're like,
We'll figure out some shortcuts.
We spend so much time.
We'll figure out some shortcuts.
Yeah,
so if you're hosting,
have a zombie in between.
Yeah.
The Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Our resident zombie, Steve, showed us an incredible drink just now with 1 million pieces of rum in it.
Seriously.
Battling ram.
Look at that thing, the zombie.
Oh, yeah. Good night. Good night to Steve.
I'm only having sips.
Another episode of Eat This, Drink That. You're turning into a zombie the more time passes. I can see it.
Brain. Give me brain.
So thank you again, Steve, for this wonderful series of Tiki drinks. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it as watchers as well. And let's make a cocktail. See you guys soon.
See you guys.